probably need this. There we go. Now we should be fine. Let's go. Almost. Oh yeah, I gotta close this. Open this back up. Select. Nice. Okay, and then we'll wait on TikTok for a little bit. Okay, cool. What do we gotta do? We did a removal. Now we should tape some seals so we can retint this. Hi. This will be part 2. I got the one window on the Tacoma replaced. Do you have any suggestions on contamination? We're doing one of them right now, actually. So, dirt likes to feed in from the edges. So let's peel this off. So what we're doing is taping over the felt, and then it doesn't loosen up and feed back in. There we go. Was it true that back windows will always bubble up on fusions? You know, I want to say no, but I don't know why it's so much more common on a fusion. You can put good tint on a fusion and sometimes it'll bubble. But I don't have enough of them that I've had to replace that I could trace back exactly what was put on there. I had one come in with C2 carbon that I for sure did in 5%. It was the only instance that I've actually had to redo on a fusion. Like personally from something that I knew that I put on it. What tinting program? We use Core. I'm still gonna hand cut the rear on this one. And then, I don't know, I might plot out the back window. No side-by-side?
Polaris Ranger.
Is that like the, oh, is that the quad?
Yeah, it's like a quad with doors.
Can you take down a year? I'll look it up, see if we can get it. It's a new Polaris.
He's looking.
Polaris. Okay, I got 3 of them in here. Figure out exactly, like, is it a 4-door? What model is it? So Polaris Ranger, they have a few different ones for me to look up. I just want to make sure I'm giving the right quote on this one. But I think we could do it. I don't see why not. I see them often enough.
It is a 4-door.
Does he want to do everything with the windshield? Crew cab? Yeah, does he want to do everything with the windshield? Everything but the windshield, the sides and the rear? Yeah, we could do them. It would be, sorry, $299. On that one, it'd be $350, $450, or $550, depending on the film that he wants to go with. Let's get this. Nice. Okay, we should be good. What are your thoughts on Tint Depot? Tint Depot carries good films, for sure. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the range of them. I see them done often enough. I'm just like, we never get called about them, so. That would be playing it safe. All right, let's grab 35. Yeah, Tint Depot has good films. I know less about their product line overall, but they're a global distributor. So a lot of their films are just global, which are good films. They just, Tint Depot can't sell them as global. Just got my order of C2 ceramic. Love it so far. Everybody said it was too tacky. I didn't notice the difference so far coming from Expel. Who said it was tacky? C2 is not exactly the same as Expel, for sure. But since you're used to Expel, Expel has tacky films. Expel, Solar Effects, Global, a lot of them have tacky films. C2 is gonna, you're gonna feel right at home in that. But their C2 is, I wouldn't say is quite as tacky. What would it cost to have a 2007 Grand Marquis? Oh, the Grand Marquis. Do you want everything with a windshield? Grand Marquis was always an interesting one. Very round, very big windows overall. Nothing crazy, but we just don't see as many things like that anymore. C2 is tacky, or Expel is tacky, C2 felt normal for me, yeah. What program is that? That is Core. When tinting a rear window with defrosters, why do I see a lot of bubbles? Could be how you're squeegeeing it. Defrosters will let air back into the window. And if you just then squeegee straight across the defroster line, like over it, you're pushing the air out of the line. So you just want to be careful and squeegee across with the lines. Your first couple passes are not going to have an issue. It's as the window starts to dry out a little bit. When you double cut patterns for both sides, you use a 40-inch roll. You can use a 36 or 40. 40 is great. Really good in plotters. You can generally get some extra windows out of it that you couldn't out of a 36. But on this car, I took a 36-inch roll and I split it in half for this one. Ooh, get it. Break this away. Beaumont window tint? Hospital that we go to is Beaumont. Ah, chaos. I should have put those rolls away. I just need this one. When I cutting edge, the knife go waving. Okay, when you're cutting a top edge, you want to use the blade holder with the blade. So look at it this way. What cuts the film? It's the blade. But if the blade wiggles back and forth as you're making a cut, you're not going to get a nice clean cut. You can use the blade holder to push the film against the top edge of the window. So when you make that cut, the blade holder itself is actually holding the film against the top edge of the window. What Beaumont are you by? We're over by the Troy one. Had both kids in that hospital. It was just funny to see Beaumont window tint. I was like, what? Is there a way to calculate total darkness when it's combined with factory tint? Yeah, you can give a pretty rough ballpark by just taking percentages. So whatever the glass percentage is, multiply that by the tint percentage. So to multiply decimals, like so, hang on, I just sprayed it. But I can take a reading of both. I can take a reading of the glass, I can take a reading of the film, and then we can do both. California, oh yeah, that's a little farther. Beaumont, Texas. There's a lot of Beaumonts, huh? Okay, so this is a meter. Let's just take a reading on this one. So I'm at 74, and then this is going to be a 35 with the glass, meters at 27. So the glass by itself, 75. Let's see how accurate this is. Uh, 0.75 times 0.35, 0.26 is going to be the final number, right? So that'd be 26.25%. Yeah, we're right there. Holds up. heat gun, heat gun. Where's the heat gun? Oh, let's put this on this one. Why is it installed on the outside? If you're patient enough, it'll get installed on the inside. Force and speed on the Graph Tech. Good question. The force, the speed doesn't matter as much. The speed I think is 30. The force is anywhere from 12. Let's see, what is it? Force right now on C2 is 15 and speed is 30. I think when we first started it was around 12 to 13. Yeah, I hooked up the battery on this one. I may have forgot to turn accessory mode off when I went over to the Tacoma. And so I figured, hey, since I have to tint the doors, let's maybe put a battery on. You always need to use a heat gun when installing tint. You always should have a heat gun handy for installing tint, yes. I mean, you can try not and then see what happens. You definitely yes on a back window. Sometimes you can get away with not doing it on doors. But that question almost always is somebody that's very new to tint. And they just like, I just want to tint something. I don't have a heat gun. Go get a heat gun. What temperature? Always as hot as it'll go. A glass wall for a beginner. You can always look on Marketplace. Find some good stuff on there. Sometimes glass companies are getting rid of odd-sized pieces. So you could always call glass companies and ask if they have any that they're just trying to get rid of. But there's almost always somebody getting rid of something on Marketplace. You can use any glass, so literally like a sliding glass door, a shower door, doesn't really matter. Glass just works way better than most things. You could even use a mirror. Mirrors they work great, they're just funny to, they give you double vision. Why do you only heat the bottom of this window? There's just not as much to shrink on your door windows. Back windows and windshields, there's a lot more to shrink. So we can take care of all of it on the top and the bottom. On door windows, because there's just not as much to shrink, it's just easier to take what we should shrink and move it to the bottom. Sounds like UPS or FedEx is outside. Do you prefer? I prefer two staging. It's just what I learned early on. He's definitely not looking at comments in this chat. Definitely not. But I prefer two staging. Look, I got chats in both places. See? He's definitely not looking at comments in this chat. I see you. But I started tinting before tinting communities were really a thing. And the guy that I learned a lot of what I learned of did things this way. And then later on, I learned about bottom loading, but at that point, I'd been doing this for so long and I didn't ever feel like taking doors apart. You can put out fantastic results either way. It's just two completely different ways of doing it. Bottom loading is the easier way to just get a window tinted. Two staging is really frustrating to learn. But I don't really look at doors like, what do I have to take apart? I just look at the seals, and the vast majority of them I can just tint. But this week I have a Lexus ES250 coming in. I think I have to pull the seals on that one. It's here? Yay! All right. I can help with it. We got PPF gel. Look at that. I didn't know when it was going to get here. They didn't send me a tracking number. Can you put tint over tint? Yes, you can. Absolutely. We just can't guarantee that you're not going to have any issues with it. That sounds like a lift gate. Oh, he's got a lift gate. Oh, that's my favorite. They asked if I needed a lift gate. I said no, but I got one, so I'll take it. It's always nice when they have a lift gate. He even pulled it right up here. He's so nice. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's how big a pallet is.
It's always nice to know when it's on arrival.
Okay. Nice. Cool. I'm gonna try some today. So in the meantime, let's get this all prepped. So that's Instagel. That is. Oh, oh, oh.
Right here.
Bro casually showing us his life. Love this. Oh, thanks, man. Sweet.
Reminds me of that video the dude had like an SS Corvette or something on one of these floors.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah. As he's pulling in and freaking destroyed their whole damn floor.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that can happen.
These same type of flooring.
Yeah, these floors, they look cool. They're not meant for too much abuse.
Yeah, and then you spill something under them and you're like, uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Don't spill that.
That's it. We got some Insta-Gel. Nice. Came just in time. Does it smell? Ooh, what the heck? It smells nice. Oh my God. It's got a pleasant smell to it. I wasn't expecting it to smell like anything. But it smells nice. What do we put it in? Is that bottle for now? The Spray Master? All the soaps have a smell to them. Like, slime smells like apples, or they have the orange one. All Type smells like laundry detergent. Ours just smells nice. I don't know how to describe it, but like Tint Slip smells just really nice. And Insta-Gel, it's just got a nice smell to it. So the gel, it's an installation gel. But what I've been seeing people do lately is they're spraying a gel along the edges of a window, and especially for areas like this. And so what can happen is it'll prevent your tint from prematurely sticking. It'll prevent it from prematurely sticking, and can also prevent dirt from just running back into your work, because water is very runny. So if you encapsulate it in a gel, I want to see how runny this stuff is. And like how gel this is. Okay. Because I'm thinking I'm just going to dilute it a little bit. But I don't know how much. Let's... See, this is the type of stuff I just have to experiment with, so we'll just do it on stream for now. Because I genuinely don't know. They said that you don't have to dilute it at all. You can just spray it straight on. Did you get a whole pallet? Yes. Because we're for sure gonna put it in the store. It's a it's like a proven, very liked PPF installation one that works with window tint. So if I don't like it for tint, it'll still be fine for PPF. Don't mix water? Why? Why not mix water? I didn't ask, I'm just experimenting. All right, let's pull this out. Will be sticky. I mean, a little bit. But it's an installation gel, so if we dilute it a little bit, like, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit stickier. But I wanna, like, first step, I'm going to try it with being diluted a little bit. I'm gonna try it undiluted too. But on tint, we're working on the inside, so I don't really want it to, like, for installation, I don't want to have to clean up a bunch of like sticky gel on the sides. So I want to try and keep it in this like moderate, little sticky, more like slip solution, but maybe it'll increase the hang time a little bit. Oh, Sean, Thank you for my Ram and all the cars that you've tinted. You're the best. Looks amazing 3 years later. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Hope things have been going well. This is tape. We're gonna tape the edges so we don't scratch the windows when we go to cut them. But I need to get some quarter windows. And my quarter windows, I'm gonna get off of my back window. So I'm gonna get this all prepped. Probably should have done that first. How did you curve the tape? Oh, it's pretty easy to go around a corner. So I'll just pull it, right? And I'll let it kind of slack out, and you just keep a little tension on it. And you can just swing the roll around and press it down. And it goes around a corner really easy. If you pull it and stretch it, what happens is this gets too much tension, and when it gets wet, it can peel back off. So you want to keep it from doing that. Why not use a cutout pattern for the rear window? Sometimes we do, and sometimes we hand cut. I don't have a good answer for you on a back window other than like, I feel like hand cutting it today. So I'll prep this, I'll install the passenger side because that one's all ready to go. And then we'll get our quarter windows. Ooh, should we? Ooh, we can. I forgot, we do have a door window. Okay, so I'm gonna spray some gel on it. What do we do? Do we go like 100% installation gel? All right, they put a QR code. Just a second, it's bringing up Instagram. Not now, I don't need, I'm on a new phone too. The videos, yeah, they're all just, they're available as soon as, oh, it's literally, it's not a video link, it's to their, okay, here, how to use the gel.
How I apply InstaGel. First, peel back the liner on our film. I'm using my normal slip solution and not InstaGel. We usually use slip to spray on the adhesive side and not the gel. Prep your panel as you normally would, squeeging out any debris. Next we're going to our gel. And a little goes a very long ways. So I'm just getting the top of the surface very lightly. The gel is helping us just suspend the film. We don't need to apply gel to our film
Oh.
side because we have our slip. If you put gel on the adhesive, it will create way too slippery of a surface.
Okay.
Film. We have our hot water. Distilled water is going to be the most accessible for everyone.
Okay. I'm all set. I got the TLDR. I'm gonna mess around with it more. So he said use your, so that was for PPF. So this very well could be a little bit different. You might use it on both, but I like that. The idea is that it just suspends your slip solution and it just helps everything slide. So you'd only need to spray it on one surface, but for tinting, what a lot of people have been using it for is strictly on the sides to help manage dirt. So I'll just have to play around with this for a while and figure out how best I want to use it. Do I want to use it as like a light mist when I go to install? Do I just want to use it on the edges? Do I want to use it on both? I don't know. Well, those are all things that I'm just going to play around with and find out. So we're going to start with just our regular tint solution. This was a window that we just removed. It was smart for them to go tint Instagram, though, instead of just, because then they can add videos. Baby shampoo, tint slip. We're using tint slip right now. Which is like a clean, extra powerful version of baby shampoo. We're gonna wipe this off, and then FPS, run over here, grab our bottle. So this has been diluted about this much. So it's like 70% gel. Okay, hang on. I already feel like I screwed up. I want to rinse that first. So let's wipe this down. And wipe this down, and then I will flush those, because I would rather have something like flush down there. Something like that. Let's just try that first. And he said use your slip solution on this. That already screws with me a little bit, because I want, like, I tend to like flushing down the edges. But I guess I just got to get used to the idea of a gel here. That's very slick. I thought the gel only goes on the borders. That's the idea. Ask Mark. Yeah, just experimenting with it. Because what I found interesting in that video is they use it as a way to help suspend your slip solution. So you still have a slip solution, and they only misted like the panel. So one annoyance that I have with Geo is that it wants to tack very early. I want something to give me a little bit more hang time too. So I saw the video and I was like, ooh, well, maybe we can just use it like that too as well. So it might be extra good at just like leaving some heavy spray along the edges. And our slip solution still should do the rest, but I like the idea of like maybe we could use this and offset the amount of slip that I even use in my bottle, and just miss this, use slip solution on the tint, and then we just end up using both together a little bit more regularly. So, I don't know. There's probably like 20 little differences that I want to try now. But I already had it like pre-diluted. But he was literally like, less is more. Spray it like this. I don't know. Oh, Raheem with a 5. Thank you. I remember seeing Matt, seeing you at a Meijer a few weeks ago. Wanted to say hello. I could see you were looking exhausted. What? You could have said hello. Looking exhausted. Hey, what time was that? I wonder if I was getting, a few weeks ago. No, I had to run at night and grab cream cheese. I wonder if that was the time. But thank you, I really appreciate that. Near midnight. It would have been probably that time. Yep. Was I with my wife or is it just me? It was probably, I bet it was. I bet I was just getting the cream cheese. I had a few other things. Okay, so let's put some film on the back of this, get some quarter windows. Oh, so it was the both of us. Oh, okay. Bebo, somebody saw us when we were at Meijer. Later at night. It was, that would have been, we were looking for the Tony, I think, that night, right? And we got stuck in that single lane line. Right? Probably. We don't go very often late at night. I wish we could. We have to sneak out of the house because our kids. It's very freeing when we can. What percentage of time do you two-stage? Like 99.9% of the time. Very rarely do I ever do anything different. No, I don't care. Shush. $300 for a ceramic roll, so how much should I charge? Look around in your area. That's kind of a good way to establish some type of a baseline. Call around, get some quotes, because then you'll know what other people are charging. It can vary a lot. I have a 3M supplier. Nice. 3M is definitely an expensive one to start out on. Try and leverage that brand as much as you can. Make it worth it. there's a guy who's undercutting everybody, doing 150 a job, but I see others charging 350 to 550. Yeah, there's always going to be some type of a range. There's a market to everything. You know, there's expensive phones, there's cheap phones, expensive cars, cheap cars. It goes like that for everything. When you're newer, you don't have a client base. I don't know if you have your own shop to tint out of. You don't have any reviews. So, like, it becomes harder to get business early on. So, a lot of people will start with just going cheaper on pricing. But I would say you want to kind of call around, see what people are doing, and then see how you kind of fit into all of that. And then just try and get customers, try some different numbers. Go from there. The nice thing is people are always asking how much. So if you start out cheaper, you want to try and raise your prices some. That way you don't get trapped as being the cheap guy. Business is really tough if you're always the cheapest. It's a volume game, and if you can't do volume, then you're losing it. You might want to work at a shop for 6 months. That's always a good thing. It's not always an opportunity, though. A lot of shops, like, you know, if they're coming to you, like, hey, I want to work there for 6 months, or find some help. Like, a lot of shops don't want to hire somebody like that for those reasons. It's like, why would I try and teach somebody that just wants to take business away from me? Tips on GeoShield Apex and preventing the film from lifting back up. Use the slip solutions that they recommend. So I use Tint Slip. And then you can try wiping the edges with alcohol. I don't see it. So this is Apex. I install a lot of Apex. I see it here and there, but I don't see it very often at all. Why are you doing the outside? Because I couldn't do this part on the inside. So I'm going to do it on the outside, and then it's going to go on the inside. How long would it take to learn how to tint? It depends on the person. Some people pick it up fairly quick. I mean, I didn't feel pretty comfortable until after like a year, and I was still not near the tinter I am today. You're always learning. You're always having days that kick your butt. Did you tint the windows on your house? No, but I should have. My bad day was yesterday. Ford Focus. It doesn't matter what car. It's funny. Because it can be anything. I've had a Malibu kick my butt before. There was something wrong with the window. I didn't realize it, but man, I redid that back window like 3 times. Is it better to tint young people's cars, or should I tint old people's cars, and can I hide the mistakes? You just sneak a couple $20 bills between their glasses and their face. Then they don't see anything wrong with it. Should I make a lot of Gmail accounts and give myself reviews so people think I've had a lot of business? I mean, I would hope that you'd want your reviews to be genuine. There's definitely fake review services, though. I haven't used them. I've been too worried about my account being pulled. But we had a string of fake bad reviews, so that was fun. What temperature on the heat gun? Okay, so there's two settings on this. There's a low, and then there's a high. I always put this on high. And the way that you deal with temperature is by speed, right? So I'm moving it fast, or I adjust the distance. So I can move it slowly, and then I feel like where it really starts to get hot is right about here at this speed. If I'm going really fast, I can move like this far away. So you want to hold your heat gun at like a 45 in the direction that you're shrinking, usually about like 4 or 5 inches away to start at a nice medium pace. But you're always watching what the film is doing. So you're looking for that specific shrinking pattern. And once you see it, you just don't keep shrinking past that. Where is my step stool? I picked it up, I put it down. Oh, I used it today. I went all the way over there. So I'm still gonna do another Dotrix along the top. It's gonna look pretty. We did it the first time. We're gonna do it the second time. So I'm going to trim just below the dots, and we're gonna use this as a template. So much easier to see when it's 35. There we go. That's half. This is not something that you're gonna do on basically any vehicle except for this stuff. Fusions and a handful of others around that time frame had these really big dot matrix patches that they would stick on the top. So if I just tint straight over the dots, they're gonna silver out in a really uneven way. Can't you just use important sauce or PPF gel? So that'll temporarily fill in the dots, and it might make them dry more evenly. And I just got my Insta-Gel right here. But Dotrix is gonna help black everything out and make it look even, like permanently. So I want a patchy dot matrix that I can leave here and test on. I don't have this customer's car just hanging out here all the time for me to check out and see how it turns out. So I want to give them something that I know is going to turn out well. But if I had it for a couple days, I would definitely try that out first and see. You can sand the dots. A lot of labor. A lot of labor and potential for scratching, but it's just along the top. Have you used Important sauce? No, I have Instagel. I just got, and it's literally that. It just came in. See that big old pallet right there? That's full of Instagel. Can't you just go over the matrix? Yes, if we want it to look patchy. I don't want it to look patchy. That's the whole point. So I'm going to try Dotrix, which is what I like to typically try. But gels aren't going to fix, they just might make the dots dry more evenly. It's not going to keep the dots filled in permanently. So no matter what, they're going to silver out. The Dotrix that I'm going to apply is going to keep them completely blacked out. Dotrix is an older product. I just pull it out for special occasions like this. I don't know where you can still buy it. This is just a trip back in time. I did just do this car, actually. This exact one. A long story, but we're lightening everything. We removed the limo. He had 35 on the doors. We're just doing the rear in 35 now. Right about there. We'll be using gel on this install? Yes. I'm actually going to use it for the Dotrix that I'm going to put on. I'm going to use it for the rest of the back window, and I'm going to try it on the quarter windows too. Yeah, we're going to be using a lot of gel, and we're just going to see how we like it. Hopefully we like it, because I got a pallet of it. I've only tried it on one window so far, and it was fine. The video that I saw basically had Instagel on a surface, but it was for PPF. So he used Instagel on one surface, and then he used a slip solution on the other surface. So he's like he was doing a HUD. And so he sprayed it. Sprayed Instagel on the car, sprayed slip solution on the PPF. And so the idea is that the gel suspends your slip solution for longer. So that's what we were playing around with first. There's my gel. There's my gel. Let's grab it. But I'm hoping I'm especially gonna like it on the quarters, because those inner parts, like, you see how far I'm gonna have to tuck in on this one? See how deep this goes? Ugh. It's annoying. But it might be less annoying if we gel it. Yeah, on these fusions, I like covering them all up. I didn't used to do that in the early days. You saw a lot of these fusions with the ugly cutouts there. That was me. Oops. I'm tinting. What are you doing? That's what I'm hoping. Come on, come on. Oh, come on, you bastard. Just that little corner. There we go, we got it. I cut my pattern a little on the large side. $400 people and nobody's talking because they're all it's suspense, man. They're all excited. They're like on the edge of their seats, like, oh, is that a fusion? A 2012 fusion? I think they're bots. Shit, you got me. It's all bots. Everybody's a bot now. Could be. Damn. All right, guys. What's one of the biggest gripes that I have with Geo? One of the biggest gripes that I have with Geo is how soon that it tacks up, and that didn't tack up prematurely on me, which was really nice. What's the slip solution? Well, now it's about to get a little complicated, so we'll see. But right now what we're using is tint slip in my spray tank, normal amount, so that's 1 ounce per gallon. Nothing crazy. But what we did was we left Instagel on the surface. And so what the idea is behind there is it's supposed to suspend our slip solution and let the film slide better, and also not let a bunch of water run back in with dirt, so everything turns out nice and clean. There we go. But it's kind of funny. The answer to what slip solution are you using is going to get more and more complicated. Now everybody from the 313, put your hands up and follow me. That looks nice. Turned out good. So let's do the other side. I got no issues with that one. Next side. Okay, so what do we need? We need this. We got a stool over there. We need a razor blade. Let's clean up a little bit. And we need our sprayer. And we'll need the film. We'll get this one on there. How much can a tinter earn per month in the US? I think over $1,000 a week. Should be pretty normal. What would be an effective way to remove tint off the back window? We just did that. We used a steamer. A little bit wider. I got a lot of space at the bottom, and I want to make this a little bit wider than the sides. So this is probably going to be a little big like the last one. Is there another way besides steamer? There is. On a hot day, you can go outside and steam the back window off by putting a black trash bag on the inside, spraying some soapy water in between, and then let the sun effectively steam off the back window. Well, enough dreaming to be enough dreaming to be 1/8 this good at tinting. Back to painting for me, dude. I'm not good at painting. You'll have me beat on that, that's for sure. All right, there we go. We got a pattern. Should we shrink it? A good tint company in the Chicago area. Go to Car Supplies Warehouse. I don't know if they specifically do individual tint appointments, but I know they do full PPF and stuff. Car Supplies Warehouse used to be part of, who was it? Chicago Auto Pros. So, Chicago Auto Pros would also be good. Does it matter which side you apply it, or is it all the same? Where was that one? It just read it to me. Any recommendations for a good tint company in the Chicago area? Oh, this must have frozen up, that's why. I gotta see if I'm actually pulling out glue. Wasn't expecting to ever redo these. Oh, there's a little bit there. Ugh. Gonna have to get another blade. Oh, no, I got it. Shot myself. All right, should be good. So we're gonna flush that out. We're gonna shoot some gel in there. Leave a little mist there. Oh yeah, our pattern's right here. And let's see. Why do you soak it so much? On these ones, they're especially tough because you got to tuck in so far and you can't really clean in there very effectively. So my solution for that is flushing as much as possible. The gel, so we're using Insta-Gel. Wow, that was cool. And what I've been seeing people use gel for now is a way to help keep the edges clean. But the video that I saw showed Insta-Gel can basically suspend your slip solution. And I really like that idea. Because if there's one gripe that I really have with Geo and films like it, is that they have a very tacky adhesive. So it doesn't matter sometimes how much you add or how much you spray, the film likes to just pick a spot and grab to it. So what a gel's gonna do is help encapsulate your slip solution so everything slides better. And then it's gel, so you don't have as much dripping. It'll keep dirt from running back into your window. Because water, like, look at the difference here. Where does dirt come from? See how runny that is and it just drips down? Well, along your edges, anywhere that's dripping down is just bringing dirt back with it. Or on the edges especially, when you have a little vacuum, a finger pop up, that sucks dirt back up with it. But spraying a gel, that's gonna freeze kind of in this area. So when you take the tint and you slap it on, well, hopefully this will slide better for longer, and then you won't have as much runniness on all the edges and stuff. So I just did this quarter window, and these are those deep fusion quarter windows. So I'm checking to see that everything turned out nice and clean. I got all my air bubbles out. It's called Instagel. This is originally made for PPF. I have a pallet of it. We got to put it in the store. But I actually wanted to sample it first before we just like threw it in the store. But it is a proven product for PPF. There's a lot of shops that love installing with Instagel. So I really wanted to see firsthand what this was going to be like. And from like a tinter's perspective, does this make sense? Would I like it? Would I use it? And so far, on those quarter windows, I'm so used to having the film just bind up. It's nice to actually put it on the window and have it slide around until you're ready to squeegee it. That's really cool. Where did you buy it? I need some. There's distributors that have it. If you search it, you'll be able to buy it right now. We'll put it in the store soon, but it might be in later today. It's pretty price competitive too. It's like 30, I don't know, like 32 to 35 bucks a gallon, something like that. How much to wrap a 2013 Honda Accord tiny bot color shifting? I mean, I could tell you how much to tint the windows. Do you have to add water? On Instagel, I don't think you have to. I saw that their installers don't, but I like the idea of making it go longer. So I'm trying diluting it at least like 70% right now. Okay, so to recap, we have this one right now cut short of the dots. And that's because we're gonna put a vinyl piece on the inside that's gonna seal in the dots and make them look nice and pretty. All right. Here we go, that's tucked into the side. Why not reverse roll? I'll do reverse rolling all day on windshields, on back windows. I do it this way like all the time. It's easier for me to just peel it and get it into place. I think just Frankensteining the back window is a simpler, cleaner way of doing it. Reverse rolling usually turns out fine. I don't like the idea of putting the liner back on itself, but I'll do it all day for windshields. It's just getting past third brake lights, back windows, you just and carry it in. I've just been doing it so long this way, this is easy for me to do it. Been reverse rolling way less. But I got my reverse rolling down for sure. I just still prefer this way on a back window. All right. Looks like we still got a little Datrix strapped here. Wow. Come on. Here. You know what's funny is I hear that people that learn reverse rolling earlier on tend to favor reverse rolling even on easy windows and stuff. I don't think I learned reverse rolling until I was like halfway through my tinting career, like 7 to 8 years into it. Maybe even later than that. It just wasn't, I'd asked tinters that were like in my area. Nobody really did it. And then the online communities, nobody really posted videos, even though I would literally like, hey, can somebody post a reverse rolling video? But they would take a phone and like put it in the back seat and you wouldn't be able to see most of what they were doing. And it was like, so I just kind of figured it out myself. I have contamination issues, reverse rolling, truck back windows, but full windshields are spotless, no problem. Dude, I feel the exact same on that. I feel like if I did a truck window, I'm gonna get speckles in it, but I'm gonna be able to just carry it in no problem. But windshields are great. I don't know what it is about a truck. It's just easier for me to carry something like that in. Has Frankenstein ever touched other parts of the car? Oh yeah, for sure. That's when it doesn't turn out as good. So you just gotta be careful about that kind of stuff. That's the obstacle to get over, is you gotta get good. You gotta get good with carrying the pattern in. But you can take a back window and just practice a bunch of times in a row. Put it on the glass, peel it off, carry it back in, peel it off, do it again. To people that don't do it, I can understand why it looks like you might get a lot of dirt, but if you really if you don't touch stuff, like you're not dragging it along the panel and not hitting the headliner with it, there's nowhere that it can pick up dirt. If I just carry it in and I don't touch the sides, slide it in on the back window, turns out really, really nice. But to those that want to stick with reverse rolling, dude, I love it for windshields. I do it all day. What I hate about back windows are the third brake lights. And so trying to roll past that was always frustrating. So I don't have to worry about unrolling past a brake light ever. I just peel it, carry it in, boom, I'm good. Where is it? Is it this one? Oh no, it's the box. Silly me. Reverse rolling is, so you take that whole back window or windshield and you literally roll it into a poster and then you unroll it on the glass. It's just a different technique. Are Google ads worth it? Just opened up a shop. Yeah, you need traffic. Google ads are 100% worth it. Look into Union Agency. They run ours. They do it for a lot of other tint companies. You just need to start getting leads. That's a lot of pressure to put yourself under right away. It's like, so you get listed on all the traditional business avenues, but there's probably already people in your area that are tinting, right? So you have to give people a reason to call you. Existing is good. That's step one. Wait, did I do the right side? Adhesive down, adhesive down. Yes, I did have this right, okay. But the shitty thing about business, though, is business is not as simple as I know the skill, therefore I make money. It's like when you own a shop, it's now you have to learn all the regular business things, and everybody is competing against each other to steal their lunch. So Union Window Films has an ad agency, and it's on their site. I would, if I, like, hey, I need somebody running Google ads like ASAP, I don't know who to call, I would talk to them. But like, look at it this way. If I owned a furniture store, like, okay, nobody driving past is largely gonna care. You have to give people a reason to contact you. Existing sometimes is good enough if you make it look flashy enough or whatever, you're just there, right place, right time. We get the same type of spammer. Annoying. I was thinking about Union for that reason. I don't think you need to be a Union dealer to use their ad agency, though. They have advantages if you are. I should have cut it. There we go. They have advantages if you are a dealer, because you're paying them for film, so then they can hook you up on agency discounts and stuff. I like that type of idea. That's super cool. But they also want to make money from their ad agency, so. How can I make slip solution at home? You go to the store and you buy some baby shampoo, and then you mix it with some water. There isn't anything that you can do at home that's just gonna make it cost effective. Just go get baby shampoo. You're gonna spend more money trying to make it at home. Oh, let me do that on this end then. If I trimmed it off like that. Okay, cool. So I got my template. So this is gonna go on the inside. I heard it's gotta be distilled water. Is that true? No, you can use any water as long as it's clean. I mean, sink water or, you know, hot water can have stuff in it. Oh, why did it freeze? You bastard. Hang on. Give it a second. Give it a second. It's not connected. Okay, there we go. Now we're connected. Oh, that's unfortunate. Where do you buy the black vinyl from? I genuinely don't know. You could look at Sun Distributing, but I'm not sure. Because that's where I got it from, but I've had the same roll for probably 5 years now. Am I using any special type of soap? Yes. Why black vinyl? So this is an older car. This had a classic dot matrix issue. And so this stuff helps fill in the dots. Damn. A lot of people asking about the important socks. I think the idea is very cool. That's one reason why we have Instagel right now. We're exploring gel. Fucker. There we go. Overlap the sides. And good. So we have a big dot matrix here, and we're filling in with a black vinyl and a little Instagel. Do you use an ad agency? Yeah, I use the Union one. They've been running our Google ads since beginning of summer. Is the gel good for dot matrix? Yeah. So it's not gonna magically fill in all the dots and keep everything from silvering. It hopefully will keep things more even. So when it silvers, I would hope that we're not gonna have the same type of, inconsistent dots. But that's why I'm still using a Dotrix here, because this is a really big dot matrix. And this is how I used to deal with that. So we'll wipe it off and check it out. See if there's any air that we have to push out. But I used gel on, gel and my slip solution on everything back here. What tags do you use? See, those are the questions that I can't answer because I'm not doing the ads, they are. I don't know enough about Google Ads. I tried to set things up myself. And I'd like to think I'm fairly competent at figuring stuff out. You can do so much. Like, ads isn't just about having a well-placed ad, it's about creating a funnel. So you need somewhere for people to go once they hit your ad. They click on it, and then what are they introduced to? Like, all that stuff after the fact matters. How much I think their programs are like, if they're doing your Google ads, it's like $300 a month or something. So you pay for the ads, obviously. So like my ad spend is probably like $1,000 a month. And then they just charge a flat rate on top of your ad spend. The dots filled in really nicely. I think that should be pretty good. So I tried using purely the gel with Dotrix. And Dotrix, I mean, it's got a soft adhesive, so it likes to grab the dots. I would often have to use an extra juiced up slip solution for it. So I pulled it back and I sprayed my slip solution, and then that slid a little bit better. It worked great on the windows so far that we were able to use it on. So quarter windows went really nice for that. And then we didn't have it until we did this door window. So everything looks good. Everything installed fine. All my edges are super clean on this too. I don't see any speckling. I had my tints done about a month ago, and that Dotrix messed up the whole tint, or they tinted it wrong. Yeah, how'd they mess it up? So Dotrix is just a strip of black vinyl, and it just covers the dotted area and doesn't go anywhere else. So when you said it messed up my whole tint, like what happened? Dotrix is an option. It's not necessary. But the idea of not using it, there's a few ways to deal with it. You can try to sand down the dots. You can put a glue. You can put a glue in between the film and the glass. That'll help fill in that space. So I prefer to just always use Dotrix. It just looks like it didn't set properly. What can I do? Should I get it redone? Yeah, if you're unhappy with it, let them know. It's their job to make it look good. So if you got a tint job done and you're not happy with it, the shop needs to know what's wrong so that they can fix it for you. And hopefully they can do that. Oh yeah, headrests, let's put those in. How long do you keep a car after tinting it to look for fingers before returning it? Not long at all. So I'm gonna have a car in here for maybe another 10, 15 minutes. And then I'll pull it outside. I don't really, like if I have another car outside, I'm making sure all the edges are touched up. Make sure everything looks like it's sealed down. But I don't intentionally keep it in here for much longer. Sometimes it's nice just to make sure everything sticks properly. So. But these windows have been sitting. So the last thing that I do is either a windshield or a back window. So I've got a little bit more wiping and I can see, I got like a little finger right here that I'm gonna make sure is touched up, but everything should be all good. Maybe it's not Dotrix, maybe it could be a regular vinyl. Could be. But whatever they're installing should work. And if it doesn't look better, then there's no reason to do it. But I've had stuff that didn't quite work out and had to redo things, so. It sucks that shops can be really off-putting. Some of them don't like to fix work or will push blame and try and deny things. But should never make a customer feel like it's a hassle to reach out and ask a question like, hey, I just don't like how this turned out. A shop should be really willing to be like, oh, okay, yep, I see the issue. This is what we can do. What would you do if you have a speck at the bottom of the back window? If there's just a speck, it depends. If it's something really egregious, then I'd be redoing the window. If it's one little speck, then I'm not gonna worry about it. If a customer then sees a little speck and is like, hey, what's that? I don't like it. Well, then we're talking about redoing it. But there's going to be things that just people don't notice that you notice. So expecting a 100% perfect result is just not realistic. But I'm not going to tell a customer exactly what they should expect inside of like, what is their level of perfection. Most people, at least that I tint for, and all around this area have been, does it look good? Cool. I'm not gonna like get all the way up here and like they're not sticking their eyeball on the glass. Every once in a while, I'll have something that needs to be redone. If they say they don't like this spec, are you gonna remove it for free and retint it for free? Yeah. Yeah, if there's something in the window that they don't like, I'm definitely gonna try and take care of it, and I already charge them for the job, so I'm not gonna charge them to fix something that I caused. I mean, that's part of what makes tinting a difficult service, or any service-based business. Is like, let's say you do somebody's floors, you set a price, you do the floors, and then you have a couple little gaps near a corner, and the customer doesn't like it. Well, do you think it's fair for the installer to then say, well, we can redo it, but we're just gonna have to charge you to redo it? No, you're gonna look at them like they're an idiot. You're gonna expect them to fix it because you already paid for good work. You didn't pay for half-assed work. So it's the same thing with this kind of stuff. If they don't like something about the job, then it's our responsibility to fix it. Have you ever tinted a car and didn't like the way it finished? Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes that has been the shade that they picked. So I try and give them as much information to figure out what kind of shade that they want. And sometimes that's been, you know, everything dries out. Oh, there's a little crease somewhere. I didn't catch it. Bring it back, I'll fix it. It's never the entire car. It's just like, oh, everything's terrible. I want this stripped off and I want my money back. That hasn't happened to me in a very long time. Can you show your toolbox with all the tools you use? It's a mess right now. So I got a whole bunch of stuff. And then these are all the back window tools. A lot of duplicates and stuff that doesn't get used very much. And then I got the tool belt that I'm wearing. A whole lot of stuff and things, pretty much. I got a lot of videos on the channel about like all the tools that you need. This stuff's good. We'll be playing around with this a little bit more. So real quick on slip solution today. This is what I typically use for everything. I clean, I install. People have been talking about gels now, and they've been using them in some cool ways. So the idea, there's a couple things with these. You spray it along the edges, and then it helps prevent dirt from just feeding back into your work. The way that I always dealt with that was doing tape along the inside seal, but I like the idea of gel being able to help with that. Another issue that I had was GeoShield likes to tack up really quickly. So when I put the film on the glass, it likes to stick. So that's why Tint Slip has been my favorite slip solution for a long time now. But Instagel isn't gonna run and it's not gonna dry as fast. So the idea here is that you can spray Instagel on the window and then your slip solution on like your tint, and then you can use both together, so the gel's gonna make the slip solution last longer. So this is something we're gonna be playing with on a lot of cars and see how it goes. It was really nice on these quarter windows though. So if we look like super close, I don't see any speckling. And the film didn't freeze up when I was trying to tuck it in there, which is really nice. So used it on the back window too, and everything went nice on the install. Didn't run into any issues on it. So I'll experiment with it more for sure. Can you just use baby shampoo and water? Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what most people use. So that'll be a game changer for mobile tinters, slip not drying so fast. Yeah. So I want to try and keep this going for as long as I can because I genuinely don't like disposables or consumables or whatever. So I didn't want to just take a gallon of this and then just put it in a spray bottle and just use this straight. They say that you can, but I'm gonna try and stretch it out a little bit longer because I just wanna use it to help keep my slip from drying up fast and then the edges clean. So I'll try probably like a 50-50 mix with like water until I feel like, okay, it's not so much gel, it's a lot more runny. So we'll see how long we can push it for. Where can I find replacement blades for the Ninja knife? I will take you there. So that's gonna be 313tint.com and then search blade. And then that's these blades right here. So this black pack, BA54Ps, we call them thin ultra sharp blades. What ratio for the Instagel in a Zep bottle? So I just did one test so far. I did probably 70% Instagel and 30% water. It's already like pre-mixed, ready to be used out of the bottle. So I don't think you have to dilute this at all, but I'm gonna try to dilute it a little bit more. What's your slip solution water ratio for a 3-gallon tank? In a 3-gallon tank, I'm gonna add 3 ounces of tint slip. So this is a pre-measured 1 ounce thing. All I do is squeeze on the bottle, fills that up. There's an ounce, and I pour 3 of those in my 3-gallon tank. 1 ounce per gallon. Can you just put the gel in the keg with the slip solution? I haven't tried that yet, but I imagine like if we're taking our slip solution and spraying that on the film and then just taking a little bit of Instagel and spraying that on the window, then you could absolutely have a mix that works. You're just probably gonna find yourself using a lot more Instagel because really what this is for is, let me spray it on here. Oh, where's my, let me grab my sprayer. You wanna leave it in more of a gel-like state. So it's not necessarily just an additive to add into your slip solution, but you see this is just my water, and you see how much that runs, right? So that drags dirt with it, it goes on the paneling and everything, but we still need to use it for our install. But if I spray the gel, you see how that holds? And it's just not runny. So we're trying to use both together, and I think to save a little bit on costs, we're really gonna still favor slip solution, but use the gel a little bit more sparingly to help our slip solution along. It'll help keep dirt out of the sides. It'll keep the slip solution running a little bit longer. You don't have to use gel. It's just a newer thing that people are talking about. And I'm gonna learn a lot about it. Alrighty, dudes. This one's all set. Thank you for watching. We have another one, I think tomorrow. Let me check. What's the one on the schedule for tomorrow? Yeah, you can match the price on their website for now. Do you ship pre-cut film? No. Hang on, what was I gonna look up? Oh yeah. Best brand for when you first start tinting? I used there's a brand called T-View that you can find on Amazon because you're gonna practice and throw away a lot of film. If I was gonna install something on customer vehicles, I would pick up GeoShield C2 Carbon, but something that you can just practice with because you're gonna be throwing a lot of film away. Oh, we got front doors on another Hummer tomorrow. Okay, so nothing crazy tomorrow. Let me delete this one. You going live tomorrow? Maybe. We don't have anything crazy, so I might do something tomorrow. For front doors.
Oh, no, he's not doing, he is doing the windshield, but he has to have it replaced first. He's gonna do it.
Oh, okay, so a different day.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you later.